Welcome to another Collector Car Companion how-to video. Be sure to check out our other videos on the Collector Car Companion YouTube channel. In this video, I'll show you how to document a project. In this case, I noticed some oil underneath the engine in my 36 Ford. On closer inspection, it was coming from the oil pan. So we've created a project called Repair Oil Pan. I've created one group called Oil Pan with a number of parts. Let's first look at a couple of photographs I took of the oil pan when I was inspecting the leak. So in this first one, someone tried to stop the leak by putting a bunch of putty around the dipstick tube. Here's the dipstick tube as it enters the oil pan. So I chipped all of that putty off, only to find a second layer of putty underneath. So neither of which worked. So now let's look at the oil pan part. So unfortunately, the only way to get at this leak is to drop the oil pan. So we took the oil pan off and it's sitting on a shelf in our workshop. And here's the date that it was removed. Now, I'm not going to record any labor costs associated with this repair. The only thing I'm going to be recording is any parts we have to purchase in order to fix this. Let's take a look at a couple of photographs I took of the dipstick tube and its bracket. After getting all the putty off, you see this crack at the base of the dipstick tube bracket. This is the bracket that holds this dipstick tube to the oil pan. After closer inspection, you'll see that the bracket is broken all the way through. So the putty was actually holding the bracket together in this spot. No wonder it was leaking. So after looking at that part, there's no way that I'm going to be able to repair it, so we're just going to replace this part. And again, I recorded the date that this was removed. And now let's look at the dipstick tube itself. After taking a closer look at the dipstick tube, it looks like it can be repaired and reused. So we'll know that for sure once we get the new bracket to see if it'll fit into the new bracket. All right, now let's go on to the restoration phase now that I have the parts off the vehicle. Now you'll notice in the restoration phase under the oil pan group, I only have the oil pan and the dipstick tube parts listed here. That's because the bracket was broken and I elected to replace it rather than try to repair it. So you'll see here under the strip down phase, you see all three parts listed. I took all three of those parts off the car. But in the restoration phase, these are the two parts that I'm actually going to restore. And then when we get to the assembly phase, again, you'll see the three parts because I'll assemble all those three parts back onto the vehicle. Let me show you real quickly how you do that when you create a part. So I'll right click on the oil pan group, say add part. And in the first step of the add part wizard, there are three options at the bottom of this step. The first one is the default action. That is that this part that you just took off the vehicle is going to be restored. So this part is also added to the restoration and assembly phases. If the part is broken and you're going to replace it, then you would select the replace it option, and then the part gets added to the strip down phase and the assembly phase, but not to the restoration phase. And then finally, in some cases, you only want to record the part in the strip down phase. Now let's go back to the restoration phase to see what I did with the oil pan. So here in the first photo you can see that I removed the broken bracket from the oil pan. Someone also welded a makeshift brace to try to hold the tube in place, so I also removed that brace. And then finally, here is the oil pan after it's been cleaned, blasted, and repainted. And here's where I recorded the different restoration tasks that I completed. All right, now let's go to the assembly phase. And let's take a look at the dipstick tube bracket. So I've added two pictures here. The first is from a catalog that showed the new dipstick tube bracket. And then here's a picture of the bracket now reassembled onto the restored oil pan. And finally, we'll take a look at the dipstick tube itself. And here you can see the oil pan has been reassembled onto the vehicle with the new dipstick tube bracket and the restored dipstick tube. And again, I recorded all this information when I assembled these parts back on the vehicle on their respective assembly part information pages. So here's the replacement part number for that new bracket. Here's the cost associated with that replacement part. There's one other thing I want to show you in the assembly phase under the oil pan. So in order to reinstall the oil pan, I needed to get a new oil pan gasket. And I've documented that as a component under the oil pan part with a cost of $28. Components are those small pieces that you need when restoring or assembling a part. In this particular case, I could have documented the oil pan gasket as either a separate part under the oil pan group, or as I elected to, as a component under the oil pan part. It's really up to you as to how you want to document this. Costs of components get rolled up into their associated parts. So you'll see now here that that cost of $28 for the gasket set has been rolled up into the oil pan part. Likewise, costs of all parts get rolled up into their associated group. So here you'll see the cost of the oil pan gasket and the dipstick tube bracket added together for the total cost for the oil pan group. And the cost of all groups get rolled up into each project. So now you see the repair oil pan project has a total cost of $40, and that's all from parts of those two parts that I just mentioned. So now you've seen how a simple project is documented with one group and several parts. You use the same process no matter how big or small your project is. As you take parts off the vehicle, you record them in the strip down phase and determine whether you're going to restore that part, replace it with a new part, or just discard the part. That determines how those parts are documented in the restoration and assembly phases. Next, you record the restoration tasks that you're going to perform on parts that you're restoring. And finally, you can record assembly details as you reassemble parts back on the vehicle. It's really as simple as that. And remember, Collect a Car Companion is very flexible and adapts to how you want to work. You can record as much or as little documentation as you wish. We hope you found this video useful. Be sure to check out our other how-to videos on the Collect a Car Companion YouTube channel.